Good afternoon and welcome. Today I want to show you oh-my-zsh and a couple of the plugins that I find to be very helpful. And this is kind of an experiment for me because I'm not really sure the best way to show this. Because I already have it set up on my system, and I always have it set up on my system, I can't just install it for you all. It's a complete setup. So I thought I'd set up a new user and see if I could do the installation for that new user. And thus you would see everything that was going on. So anyway, let's give this a try. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but here we go. So I set up this user called dummy admin, and I have just done a sudo apt install zsh. I'm not going to do that again. It's already been done here. If I do a which zsh, it's going to show me user bin zsh. And then I did a shell. Let's see. I did a shell -s / user bin zsh. And I'm not going to do that also because I've already done it. Then I have to log out and log back in. And when I logged back in this time, I did it this way: su-dummy admin -l. And by doing it this way with the -l, I got all of this environment. You see, I did a print env. All this environment is what user dummy admin has. Without the -l, I was actually still having all of my old environment, and it was messing up the installation for oh-my-zsh. So I'm looking here at the GitHub page for oh-my-zsh, and it says that you need git and curl. So what you need to do is a sudo apt. Oops, I'm typing in the wrong window here. Yeah, I have to be in this window. Sudo apt install curl. You can also install wget, is a good idea, and you need git. And I'm not going to do this because these programs are already on this machine. And once you get that, here's the command for installing oh-my-zsh. So just click 3 times and hit copy, and then paste it over here. And you'll see that it clones this and then runs the installation script for it. And this is what the screen should look like once this happens. So you get a different sort of a prompt and some information and so on. And now you should have a, if I do a vim, this is another thing that you should sudo apt install is vim, or your favorite editor. It doesn't really matter which editor you use. Vim.zshrc. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, which is capital G, and I'm going to get rid of these these comments here, because I like to use these 2 aliases. And I'm going to make this vim instead of mate or mate. All right, so there we go. So now if I exit from here, let's see, if I exit from here, how far do I exit? I probably exit all the way out again. So I'm not going to do that yet. I'll exit, but not quite now. So once this is up and running, there are a bunch of plugins that are very helpful. And so I'm going to go back into this guy here, and I'm going to look for the plugins section. And let's just put this in here, FZF, and I'm also going to put in Z here. And then save and exit. And now I'm going to do a sudo, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do FCF, I hope, yeah, here's Jungon FCF, a command line fuzzy finder, and this is going to tell me how to install it here. First of all, let me see if this actually is in here already. See, it's not found, so that's a good thing. Installation. I like to use the git method here. So here it is. Just copy this, paste it here. So it's going to put it in my home directory .fzf, and then it's going to go into that directory and run the install command. And there it is. You want enable fuzzy auto-completion. Say yes, please. Enable key bindings. Yes, let's do that. Update your shell configuration files. Yes. And that's it. Now, if I do a FZF, it's not coming back yet. So I have to exit from here. And who am I? Dummy admin here. I probably have to exit again. Maybe I could just do a source.zs. Well, first of all, let me echo my shell. Make sure that I'm in the right shell here. Yes, I am. So now, if I source.zshrc, good, I get the right prompt, and now I should be able to do an FZF here. And yeah, now if I start, let's say I want to find something, some directory, for example, that's got, I don't know, package in it, PA, no, home maybe. Why is this not working for me? Let's do an ls here. Oops, ls. LA. Alright, so the problem is I have very limited scope of what I'm able to look at here. Is that cd/etc? See, I'm not able to get to any of these places as this user. So that's kind of a problem. Can I go to /home? No, I am here, pwd. So, why isn't this working? Alright, now it's working. Here we go. So if I type home, right, it's going to give me everything that's got home in it. You see, it also gives me anything that's got hooks, HOO. So and then it gives me HO, and then finally anything that's got a one of these letters in there at all. So this is a fuzzy search looking for directories, and that can be quite helpful, but it's not what we're looking for when it comes to oh-my-zsh. If I hit Control R here, I can type in ls, and it will show me every single command that I've run before that has ls in it. And this is extremely helpful if you're trying to find something like, let's do we never did a wget, we did a curl, right? So we can find the command, and if this has been running for a month, I can find a command very easily that I ran a month ago. As long as I remember a part of it, any part of it at all, it's going to find it for me. And so this is incredibly useful. Another thing that we've done here is we installed the Z command. So we went to Etsy before, right? And then let's go back home. Let's say we want to go back to Etsy. I can do a Z, E, and it brings me back to Etsy because the Z plugin creates a database of all the places I've CD'd to, and it will find the one I go to the most based on what I type in for it. So if I had another directory that started with E and I go there more often, it would have brought me there by typing in ZE. And there are a lot of other very helpful things inside of the plugins here for oh-my-zsh, and I think I've got a list of them. There are something like 275 plugins that can be put in here, and so let's see if I can find a list of plugins. Well, I'm not finding it right offhand. Let's find a list of plugins here. Let's look for the best oh-my-zsh plugins. Alright, so here's an article on this, and so it's hard to read. I'm going to just enable high contrast for this. So here it's talking about Z. This is the one we just saw. I don't know what this antigen bundle is for this. So here's something called auto-ls. So if we put in the auto-ls, let's do that. CD back to my home directory, sh config. And then let's just insert in here the auto-ls. And now let's do this exit from here, and let's do this source again. Source.zshrc. Oh, who am I here? Oh, look at that. SU, dummy out of myself. There we go. Just have to log in again. Auto-ls is not found. So what happened here is I guess I don't have this antigen bundle here. So I guess I found the wrong article here. Let's go back here. And look at the next article. Useful oh-my-zsh plugins. So there's the Git package here, and I already have Git as one of my plugins. So if I do alias here, you'll see that I have a lot of aliases that are related to Git. And all of these were put in here by that Git plugin. So I can type GP and I'll get Git push, for example. GSH will give me Git status. NPM, if you're a Java person, then you're going to want the NPM aliases. Similarly, if you're on OS X, then you'll have a lot of these. So let's add the sudo, because that's one that I particularly like. CSH config, here we go. And so here we are in plugins here, append sudo source .zshrc. Now, ls, right? LA will do, so we can see what's in there. Now, if I wanted to, if I typed out a long command and then I said to myself, oh, I need to put sudo in front of that, I could go back and type it in, or I could, now that I have that plugin, I just hit escape twice and it throws the sudo in front, hit escape twice again and it goes away. So that's a helpful one. Oh, this isn't giving us a lot. So the main ones for this that people want to put in are auto suggestions, and syntax highlighting. So let's go take a look at these. So here's ZSH auto suggestions, and this is in ZSH-users, ZSH autosuggestions.git. So I'm just going to click on this 3 times, copy it, come over here, and paste it. And so you can see that this is putting it in the .omazesage /custom/plugins directory. And I'm going to do the same thing here with syntax highlighting. And now I have to add these 2 things to my list of plugins. So I'm going to go over to ZSH config, and I'm going to append here, and I'm going to hold the shift and control key down and hit the V key, and there we go. That's in there now. Let's do a source.zshrc. And now we'll have auto suggestion. What is that? Auto suggestion is, you see, if I hit the L, it suggests the A for me. If I do a git, look at that. It put everything else in there. I just have to hit the right arrow, and it will highlight all of that for me. So that's auto suggestions. This is very helpful. Now, if I start to type in a command here, FCF, and it's a good command, it turns green. If I did FCZ, it's red, which means that it's not a real command. It's not there. So that's the syntax highlighting. Very, very helpful. And there are a bunch of plugins. Let's get a list of all the plugins. List of oh-my-zsh plugins. I think they're more than 275. Here we go. Let's take this high contrast off so that it's easier to see. All right, so we can browse 275 plus plugins here. So if you program in Ruby on Rails, you're going to want Rails, you're going to want Ruby in here as plugins. So you get all of these things. If you run Arch Linux, there's one for Arch Linux. If you run Ubuntu, there's one for Ubuntu. There's some fun ones, like if you want Chuck Norris quotes and things like that. If you run DirtyEnv, there's one for this. And I'll probably end up putting this in here eventually. If you're a Django programmer, or if you run Docker, you've got all of these, and mostly these things either give you some functionality or they give you a bunch of aliases. So this is a very good thing and worth having. Now, what can we do to make this better? So there's something called nerd fonts. And let's go and get some nerd fonts here. And the one I'm interested in is called Meslo. So let's see what we have here. We want to put in power level 9K or 10K. And color LS, we want to put in, I keep changing this screen here. I don't see, let's go to downloads here. And let's find the Meslo. I'm just going to hit Control F and Meslo, and it's not showing up here. I can guarantee you it's here, it's just not finding it somehow. Meslo nerd font here. Let's just download that. There we go. So this is going to take how long? 18 seconds. So this is something we can wait for. It's no big deal. In the meantime, let's make a directory here. We can make a directory using the take command. Now we'll call this Meslo. So the take command makes a directory for you and it CDs into it all at once. And it's one of the things that you get with omazesage. And so now let's move the /downloads. Oops, where the hell are we? I don't know why I'm not getting completion here. Oh, it didn't go into. It did not go into dummy admin's download folder. It went into mine. So I'm gonna have to sudo move /home bard downloads, and what this is called Meslo .zip to /Meslo. Alright, so now I should have Meslo.zip here. There it is. So just unzip this. And now we have a whole bunch of fonts. So what we need now is Font Manager. And so this tells you how to install it. Using Flatpak. Alright, so I can barely see this. I don't know if you have trouble seeing it. Let's put high contrast on here. Flatpak install flathub org.gnome.font manager. Alright, and then once you have font manager in here, then you should be able to do a font manager. And no, it's not. Let's see. I'm going to use this Control R font. Do I not have the ability to start this program up? I don't know. Yeah, I can start it up from here. All right, Font Manager. Alright, so it's giving me a problem with the display because I'm another user here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this from this user here. Alright, so I'm the user Bard over here. So I have the font manager here. And so what I can do with this is how did I do this the other day? There must be a way to do this from the command line. Alright, so 42. Alright, let's do this. I could have sworn that I ran a command here to install all these fonts. command line in Ubuntu. Alright, so it looks like this fc list command can do it. No? I guess you just have to put them in this tilde /local /share /font /hack a regular. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Exit from here. Don't need this one here. .local. Do I have a .local? Move star to make dir -p dot local share fonts move star to ./.local share fonts. Okay. All right, so it looks as though all the fonts are in the right place now. Clear and regenerate your font cache. So all these fonts should be ready now and available for use. Let's see. We can do an fc-list. I guess that's font cache list. And you'll see all of these are in here now. And so the next thing to do is to go into your preferences for your terminal. And in Terminator, this is where they are. I go into here, into Profiles, and I choose the Meslog GL Nerd Font Mono Regular 15 and put it in here. So any one of these Nerd Font, Meslo, Nerd Font fonts, whichever one you want to use, whatever size you want to use, you just put it in your terminal preferences. And then when you're done, you close out of that, and you'll have those fonts working. Now, why do we need those fonts? We need those fonts because we want to install something called Power Level 10K. So let's find that. Install Power Level 10K. And this is the guy here, Romka TV, or Romcat V, something like that. I don't know. Let's take a look. Get rid of the high contrast. It's no good for this one. And so we have the recommended font installed. We have oh-my-zsh installed. What are we going to do here? We're looking for the... Let's get rid of this guy here. Alright, so it's telling you a whole bunch of stuff about this, and really all we want is the installation thingy. It's another one of those git clones. Alright, I'm not finding it here. Let's see if we can get the computer to find it. Git clone. Alright, so here it is. Manual installation. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's copy that. Paste it here. Git clone from Romac TV parallel git, and it's going to put it in tilde power level 10K. And that is not where we want it. That's the wrong place. So I'm actually going to delete this power level 10K, because that's not where we want it. So we don't want the manual instructions, we want the oh-my-zsh instructions. So 1, 2, 3, copy, paste. You know, I did this yesterday also, made the same mistake. So there we go. So where does this put this? This is put it into the ZSH custom themes directory. So we can cd into $sh under custom themes. And there's our power level 10K in there. That's fine. CD back to the home directory. And now we need to do this. Why is this not showing up right? Let's make this a little bigger. 1, 2, 3. No. Just from here, the ZSH theme equals this. Let's copy that. And we can go into the ZSH config and let's find theme. GG, lowercase gg will get us all the way to the top, and then we can do a slash and look for theme. And there it is. And let's just do an open and a Control-Shift-V puts that in there, and then this guy we can get rid of. Gone. Alright, so now if we source .zshrc again, we should get the configuration stuff for power level 10K. Anyway, I hope you're learning some new techniques here and I'm not just boring you to death. So, does this look like a diamond? Y for yes. Does that look like a lock? Yes. Does that look like a Debian logo? Yes. All right, are those close but not overlapping? Yes. And then what kind of prompt style do we want? How about rainbow? Let's set up rainbow. And then let's do Unicode. That's a 1 for Unicode. And we want a 12-hour time format. And what kind of a separator do we want? Let's do an angled. Number 1. And do we want blurred? Yeah, let's have blurred. Let's do the 2. And do we want prompt tails? Do we want blurred? Let's have prompt tails too. So I'm making the gauchest prompt that I can, the most gauche prompt that I can. But you know, you can make it any way you like. Let's make it 2 lines. Let's make it dotted. All right, let's do the full angles there. That's 4. Okay, let's make it, I don't know, do we want it light or dark? Let's make it light. And we want it compact. And of course we want as many icons as possible. And we want fluent. Enable the transient prompt. Transient prompt will, so you don't see all this stuff over and over and over again and filling up your screen. Let's enable the transient prompt. And then every time I do verbose, it comes back with an error saying that if you don't want to see this error anymore, set it to quiet. So I'm going to set it to quiet. And then apply changes to your .zshrc. Yes, let's do that. And now you see we have a very nice prompt here. And you can further configure this to your heart's content. Go in and read about Power Level 10K. But now, in my opinion, you have a usable system with a decent prompt. And with plugins, and you can add more plugins as you need them, and you have the very great functionality advances of the ZSH shell. Anyway, I hope you learned something from this. I hope you enjoyed it, and mostly I hope it recorded okay, because I made some changes to OBS also before I started this, so hopefully it's recording with some nice filters on the sound and so on and so forth. Anyway, thank you for visiting with me, and bye-bye.